Hey guys, it's Andy, the self-help book junkie, and we are back with the Power of Kabbalah, the teachings of Rav Berg. Today, I really want to just jump right into it, but support the author. I have it on my Kindle because I'm traveling. If you haven't noticed, I'm not in my usual setup, but we'll get into that a little bit later, okay? Consider an individual with a net worth of 20 million who loses 15 million overnight in a stock market crash. Compare that to a person with a net worth of 20,000 who earns 80,000 from a stock that just went through the roof. Which one goes to bed with greater peace of mind and a stronger sense of security? The one who has 5 million or the one who with only a small fraction of that amount? Although this example is simplistic, the idea here is that money does not in and of itself give security. There are those who have millions who feel as if they have nothing, and there are those who have nothing who feel as if they have millions. Security is not found in a bank account. It is a feeling that comes from within. This is because physical objects are not what we humans are truly seeking in life. We're really searching for the spiritual energy that pervades the 99% world. So this example hit me pretty hard because it's about appreciating, it's about perspective, it's about understanding, your problems might seem small to some where other people might seem big. I've seen plenty of interviews where people are talking about, when you hang out with people who have more money than you, your problems seem really small. The same thing is like when you are on a high level and you see people who have less than you, you think, oh, those problems really aren't what matters. But to you, they seem very real. To you, they seem like, oh my God, the world is done. Oh my God, the world is the best. And yet, those external things, they can affect you for just like a split second, but then ultimately, you just come crashing down. What is it that we're looking for? What is it that's going to give us everlasting happiness and peace? Well, the answer, all of it. And you're probably thinking, but Andy, you just said none of it's gonna give you peace. And that's true too. It's like so confusing. All of it's gonna give you peace, but none of it's gonna give you peace. Which one is it? And it's both. That's the answer. When we're looking at what we're doing with our lives, when we're actually chasing a goal, chasing a dream, trying to manifest something, the real trick to understand is the actions that we take in order to manifest, the actions that we take in order to achieve, the actions we take in order to get somewhere. That's really where the goal is. It's not the attaining of the goal. It's not the attaining of the manifestation. Because once you've got it, then what? Once you've got it, there's like nothing to do. There's nothing, and you're just like, oh, I have this. Well, now what? You've spent your entire life chasing after something that you forget that the chase, that the entire point of it is what's really driving you, what's really making you happy and fulfilling you and giving you purpose is the thing that we're striving for. The striving is the thing. Now, I'm not talking about suffering. That's a whole other episode. What I'm talking about is the effort that we put forth into the world. Here are several examples of like plenty of people who have, made it to the top and felt like, is that it? Think about the richest people in the world. Like they're still trying to achieve more. And it's not because the money's like, if they have the money, they've won the money, they've won the big jackpot. But that's not the thing that they're chasing. They're chasing the things that they do that generate money. That's what gives them purpose, which is why they don't stop making money because they're like, that's not what they're chasing. Think about people who have won multiple titles. How many people have won multiple championships? You win a championship, but that's not enough. The pursuit of excellence, the pursuit of more, the pursuit of what can I build, the pursuit of how great can I be, that's what fuels them. And then conversely, think about somebody who wins the lottery and they get the money and then they fall into a deep depression because their friends are now only at them because they need money. Family members too. They have to figure out taxes. They have to figure out like how to manage the money. And within a few years, they're bankrupt and they're like, well, that wasn't it either. They had the money and yeah, it gives you a burst of energy. Yes, it gives you a burst of life. And yes, you're excited and wonderful and it's amazing and you're happy. But then all the stuff that comes with it is like reality hits you. And so when we're talking about spirituality, we always think, yeah, it's so easy to say it's not about the money because you have money. But that's the point, right? Is that somebody who has the money has gotten there. They're like, yeah, that ain't it. This is not it. The happiness is not in the money in and of itself. Like the thing that I was chasing was not the money itself. So they are the ones that can tell you, yeah, that ain't it. So I'm going to give a personal story of mine, is that for the longest time I thought, yeah, like I want to be married. I want to be married. And, you know, my first marriage ended in massive failure. But then I knew that I was still destined to be married. And so when I met my husband, I was like, yeah, no. On our first date, we were talking about, hey, do you want more kids? Do you want to get married? Like, we were talking about these really personal things. And I was like, yeah, no, I want to be married. 5 years later, I'm like, hey, we're supposed to be married. He's like, great, let's get married. We get married, and the first year of our marriage was the hardest one ever, because that wasn't it. Where I thought everything was going to change and everything was going to be butterflies and rainbows and roses and happiness and love and honeymoon and smoochy poos and everything. And it wasn't that. At that point, that's when the real work began. It's like, yes, I had acquired. Yes, we had been, you know, married. Yes, this was like the thing. This was the thing that my heart desired. But then like after we got married, it was like, oh, now what? That's when you do the work. It's really not about chasing after the money or chasing after the relationship or the career, the job, the children, whatever it is that you're chasing. Ultimately, once you have attained it, then the work begins. Then the spiritual part comes in and says, okay, now that you have this, now what? Now what are you going to do with it? How are you going to grow to maintain it? How are you going to grow to be able to keep it? And the other part of this is about the perspective, right? You know, the person still has $5 million in the example, and the other person now has $100,000, and they're like, holy crap, like both of them have very different perspectives, because somebody was expecting to have $20 million, and then they wake up with only a quarter of what they had, and then the other wakes up, you know, pretty much fivefold what he has. When you start looking at what numbers are, when you start looking at how much money you have, when you start looking at, you know, what it is that exactly you have to really keep things into perspective. I can sit here and think, yes, I live in this wonderful home, but there are people out there who have multiple homes. There are people who have mansions that are 20 times the size of bigger than that, you know, than the size that I have. And I can get depressed and say, oh my God, I live in this tiny home. Conversely, there are people who have nothing. There are people who live in shacks and shanties, and there are people who live in one room with 30 people. So it's about perspective. It's not about I have the biggest and the best, or I have the smallest and the worst. It's about appreciating that fact that like you have. It's about appreciating that which you actually have in your hand. It's okay to desire more, never forgetting that what you have is already a blessing. Yes, even from the shack and shanty, even from the 20,000, even from the 20 million, even from the 1 million square foot mansion. Loving where you are in the very moment is going to be the springboard into other parts of your life, developing, manifesting, becoming larger, becoming greater, becoming more powerful, potent, wonderful. But you have to stem it from gratitude. Now, if you've been a fan of this page for any amount of time, you know I've talked about gratitude a million billion times. That is really where everything stems from everything that you want to do, your marriage, your career, your health, everything stems from gratitude. Okay guys, that's it for me, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this book. This is such a great book. I have so many other pieces that I want to share with you guys. And if you're ready to get unstuck with some of your manifestations, hit me up, all right? Andy@andyhoffercoaching.com. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to be there for you. I'm also going to put links in the description to the book, to my book, Writing for My Life, because prayer, journal, and meditation has been integral in my own manifestations and my own life in getting unstuck with so many things. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Love you. Bye.